Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Part 4 of the Coyote build. We have some more parts coming in. We're going to be going through the steering column, getting the dash ready, maybe prepped and painted, start the AC install, and start doing the wiring, routing the battery, hopefully get the gas tank so we can run the fuel lines, and so much more. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Super excited. We got the wheels and the tires in. We're gonna get those mounted and mocked up on the car. Can't wait to see how it looks. Big shout out to Falcon tires for these babies. I'm running 245s, 40s, 18s in the front, and some big boys, 275, 40, 18s in the rear. So we'll get these mounted up. Wheels are in the truck. Huge shout out to Wheel Pros and US Mag. So let's get these wheels put on. So got the wheels back. Oh my God. Woo-hoo. So tomorrow I'm gonna mock them up to see how they look, but they look good, baby. Woo! All right, so we got this box in from I Did It steering column, which is, oh, where is it at? It's up here. So we have the steering column. It came in bare metal, so we went ahead and already prepped it and primed it. We already mocked it up into the location here. We had to do some modifications to the brake because the column, you know, as you can see now down the hole clears it, but we had to modify that to get better clearance so it wouldn't rub against it. So we took care of that. Now we're gonna start prepping the dash. We have to cover up some holes there, and then we're working on the tunnel as well. But we already, I don't know if you can see there, the knuckles are down there that go through the shaft to the steering column. We're also hopefully going to be getting the hoses for the power steering that are going to be routed through here down to the bottom to the rack and then back up to the hydro boost. So hopefully we should be getting those soon and we can route those. But I think in the back what we also got is we're going to be mounting the battery, obviously, because there's no space up in the engine bay. So I think this would be a prime spot for the battery box, which is this nice beauty here. It's meant to hold a Optima battery, so we're going to probably mount it there, and then we got all the wirings, the cables, the positive cable that go all the way to the front and the negative cable that's there. So we're gonna start installing that and get some power routed. Hey, what's up guys? Next day here. Now we're gonna start tackling the air conditioning system, which is great company, Old Air Products, and we got the whole kit. It's meant to fit obviously this car with its original motor, but obviously we have a Coyote, we have to do some modifying. So let me show you the parts. All right, so here's the package from Old Air. Comes with all the things. We already kind of took out some stuff, but here are all the hoses. We got all the ducts that go there. Here is the condenser. Here's instructions. Here is evaporator. Comes everything all new, all the fittings that come out. These are what's gonna come out through the firewall. So originally, obviously this car, we looked through the instructions. The factory original hole on the firewall is where this bolts up to. Comes with all the controls that go into the dash. You know, it comes with all the wiring, where to mount everything. But being that we have this big monster in here, the original location was way over here in this area. Obviously, there's no room. So what we're gonna do is modify and go over a couple inches to this area. So we kind of put some tape down so we can mark and measure where it's supposed to go. And you can see from the inside, because I patched the firewall and made it all clean, that's the original hole. See, that's where it would go originally. Bolt right in there and you're done. So what we're doing is that we're just moving it from that location to this location. We need a clearance for the motor that we have in here. So we got 2 holes measured up. We're gonna use one of the holes from the original and then drill out the other ones so we can mount the evaporator system here. Once that's mounted, I believe that's the hard part. From there we have to route all the hoses and also the hoses, and then from there how we're gonna plumb to the AC compressor that's on the Coyote motor. We're gonna have to make some custom lines. So we're gonna continue working on this, see if we can get this mocked up, and once that's on, that's going to be one step closer to getting this puppy done, which we're still quite a bit a ways, but that's one thing I want to tackle, kind of finish all the stuff that we have to do inside the engine bay so that everything fits under the dash. Then we can start, you know, maybe painting the dash so that's finished, and just kind of one by one. And the paint and body is going to be towards the end because we already did the body work, so we just have to block everything out. But I want to fit everything, make sure everything's going to work and fit. We have to modify so that, you know, we don't do that to finished product. So and the other thing I think I forgot to show you guys was the hoses. I ordered them longer because obviously, you know, I can crimp them to fit onto mine. So they're already pre-made on one side, but the other side I'm gonna fit them to my AC compressor, which is the original Coyote one. So let's get back into it.
The next day.
What's up, guys? Back on the Mustang. We're gonna be routing the fuel lines onto the motor and the fuel rail. Show you guys here. So here's the motor. Here's the factory fuel rail. We're not gonna be upgrading the fuel rail, so this car or this Mustang motor, Coyote motor, doesn't have a return. It's a returnless fuel system. So what we had to do is buy this adapter piece that connects to the fuel rail, converts it to AN fittings. We connected a short hose fuel filter so it's easy access to, you know, swap out a fuel filter. We dropped it down. So let's raise it up and you guys can see. So here we routed it down. We're gonna secure it. Obviously this is a big old mess, but we're gonna be routing it next to the brake line here, and then go up to the tunnel and follow it all the way back, and then open up a hole here so that it goes into the fuel tank. We're still messing with the tunnel, which we're gonna try to do and mock up the drive line, which I have here. This drive line is out of stock Mustang, so this will bolt to one end, but obviously this is not gonna go in my car, so I'm gonna have to reuse this joint and then measure it, make the driveline shop make me a new drive shaft that's gonna go from there to there. So we'll get that measurement, and then, you know, we can get the right driveline made out for this. Back on the topic is, if you saw the other day, we were working on the AC condenser and the AC evaporator. The original one goes in this area, but because we have this, offset it further to the left of the firewall, which we did, we were able to mock up the holes and get it really close there, and it worked out perfect. We have a lot of room in this area, so that was good. We were afraid it was going to be too tight, but it's all mounted in there, so it's good. So that's one less step. So right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to prep the dash area so we can get that into paint. I opened up the dash so I can put a newer style stereo in there, but we're prepping it out so we can get that painted and get that out the way, which is looking nice. So we're going to continue hitting it with some sandpaper 220 and get that prepped out. So what's up, guys? I know we're jumping to different little things here and there on the Mustang build, but we got a lot of things going on. So I'm gonna go over the next step that we're kind of working with is the body wiring harness. So the body wiring harness that we got is from TopStreet Performance. It's a universal harness. I figured because I'm going to be doing a Coyote swap, I don't need an OEM style because we're going to cut a lot of it. So to save money, we get a universal one, and then we can just utilize what we're going to use on the vehicle, and then either just cut the rest off or don't use it at all. So it comes with this instruction manual, tells you what the wires are and configurations. Here is the fuse box. It has all the different, you know, features, hazards, trunk, coils, turn signal, all that. You know, everything comes bare like this. So what Sammy's doing over here is cleaning it up and making it look nicer. He's putting electrical tape throughout the whole thing so that it's all tight and not loose wires. He already split it here, and this is all the front area, and then the engine wiring harness. Obviously this is all inside the dash, hazard switch, turn signal switch, relays. I think this is steering column as well, and then the rest of this is like dash components, which we're not going to be using them because obviously with the Ford Performance wiring harness, that gets all used through the OBD2 ports. So we're going to continue wrapping this up, and then we can start, you know, feeding it through the car there. So looking pretty good though. All right, guys, as you saw yesterday, we finished taping up the wiring harness. Now we're going to get it installed and start routing the wires to all the specific locations, towards the front, towards the back. And we're not going to wire it just yet, but at least so we can get a gist of where everything's going to go and, you know, where everything's going to fit. So let me show you guys that. So being that it's a universal wiring harness, we can kind of route it wherever we want. So we decided to put the fuse box mounted on the side here so we can get access to all the fuses. All the wiring that's going to go here on the front goes here, and then everything else got routed through the original location. that goes here and goes all the way towards the back of the vehicle, which is, you know, up the original location. So here's wires for tail lights, park lamps. We got wiring for the fuel gauge sender unit and all that. So we're finishing wrapping that up. And like I said, we're just gonna kind of tuck it away until we're ready to wire, but at least everything's ran and you know, ready for everything to be wired. So towards the front, we pulled it out of here and we're gonna tuck it. Instead of coming in here where you see it, kind of a cleaner look, go through here. It's gonna go through here and out to the other side for the headlights and all that. So, I mean, it comes really long. You know, obviously we trim it to fit, so it's coming out good. Let's mount the wheels on this car. I can't wait to see how it looks. It hasn't sat down on the ground yet, so I'm really excited for that. Let's check it out. All right guys, so we're getting the rest of the dash ready. It's in the booth, masked up, ready for some paint, and we also got the column. So let me give you guys a quick little tour of what's in the booth. All right, here is the I Did It steering column. We got it all masked up and painted. It's gonna be color matched. Got the upper grille for the dash, ashtray there, and we got the dash all masked up, ready for some paint. Richard, the master, is gonna start laying down some paint. I think he already laid down the sealer and the base, but after that, when he starts laying down the pearl, I can't be in here, but I'll show you guys how it's laying down. It looks really good. The Frankenstein tunnel.
The next day.
What's up guys? I couldn't wait to see it, so I'm here the next day after Richard shot the dash, and I need to go see it. Let's go walk in. Oh man, can't wait to see it. Ooh man, that looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. So I'm excited because obviously I want to get, there's another part of the car that's getting painted one step closer. But this will allow me to continue to put together the dash, like, you know, put the cluster in, do the wiring for the ignition, you know, wipers, stereo stuff, like all that over there. And also, instead of steering it manually, you know, we can put on the steering column. Oh, it looks so good. You can see the pearl in there. I don't know if it catches on the camera, but grill, ashtray, it looks so good. So I'll come back tomorrow, we'll pull it out and put it in a stall, and we'll continue going on it, but it looks so good. What's up guys, got a little update for you on the Mustang. We got some more parts in, installing some more, so take a look. So this beauty finally came in, the Holley Sniper fuel tank, which we needed in order to get everything plumbed up to the motor, fuel line and everything. So we're gonna be doing that. Little update on the tunnel, finished off. Got the tunnel, the shifter mounted up there. Now we have to do the drive shaft that's gonna go here. And here's all the brake lines here, the fuel line. And this little guy is a vacuum line. You'd be like, a vacuum line, why? It's gonna come back here because I'm gonna be mounting the fuel pressure regulator back here versus in the engine bay to kind of help clean everything up. So now that that's in, we're gonna install the fuel tank and start or finish the plumbing of the fuel system towards the car. But you know, one step closer now, you know, we can get the drive shaft measured up. Here's the old drive shaft that came off an original Mustang. So obviously we can't install this one because it has different ends. So this end I'm gonna reuse because that goes to the transmission, and then we're gonna make a solid shaft with some sort of like kind of flex or cushion, because it's not like your regular transmission where it has a U-joint that kind of slides in and out like the regular transmission. This one's like a fixed unit. So we're gonna do that so we can be one step closer, but so excited, man. Here's another piece of the puzzle we installed is the radiator. So it's a big 4-row radiator, big fan, still have enough clearance. We're gonna also be installing in front of this is a AC condenser, because I'm gonna be running the AC system to that unit there. And we finally cracked open the Ford Performance pack, which consists of the intake box there, comes with the radiator hoses, comes with some breather lines here, filters, also some new O2 sensors, obviously comes with the new computer and the wiring harness. So that's gonna be the other fuse box that goes to it. That's gonna be mounted on the passenger side, and we're gonna mount the ECU in the engine bay. Our plan is to mount it kind of to hide everything, kind of route it through here, kind of up and over, and then use the original battery box location and kind of make a bracket to mount in here. Still kind of deciding where it's gonna go, but I think this is gonna be the prime spot. So then the next step now is we're gonna have to make custom AC lines to mount to the Old Air Products AC system and the condenser that's gonna go in the front. So let's crack this open, see how she looks. Hey guys, so here's the Holley Sniper EFI gas tank. Unpackaged it. Oh yeah. So this is the tank. So this is like pretty much a factory tank that's gonna bolt to the same location. Obviously, here's the fuel neck that comes out of the back of the body panel, and it has its sending unit, fuel pump hole, rubber sending unit in here, and the goodie bag in here. So it comes ready to go. It goes right into that. Comes with all the fittings, supply, your return, a 255 Marlboro fuel pump that's gonna go in line, and we'll get this all mounted up and get it inside the car. So we got the tank mounted. We had to drill out some of the holes in order to put the, I guess, whatever filler that they put on there, but we got all the holes there, got the tank in it. Let's tighten it up. And we made it. Let's get us a drive shaft. So here's the drive shaft that came off the Mustang. So this is my end of my differential. So that's what it's supposed to look like on this side. And this is what connects to my tranny now. So hopefully they can use this and then just create a new drive shaft. These are the measurements, 75 end to end, but if we go inside the little cup, this, it's 75 and a half. So see what they can do for us. All right, after speaking to the guys in here, this is the plan of attack. We're gonna reuse that joint over there that's gonna go to the tranny, and they're gonna make me a one solid drive shaft, but it's gonna be something along these lines. See how this has a slip yoke that goes in and out, because that's what you need in order to install it onto the car. And as the suspension moves up and down, it has this display on this side. Obviously this is going to be bolted to the tranny, so pretty much almost similar to this. It'll bolt here, and then we'll be able to push it in and then extend it out to fit the differential, and then it'll have display. So it's gonna look something like that. It's gonna look good.
The next day.
All right guys, welcome back to another day here on the Coyote build. Quite a bit of deliberation on these AC lines because this is not a factory motor. They send us kind of hoses that are for the universal 302 289 motor, but obviously with this Coyote is totally different. So let's go over those lines. All right, so obviously we have the condenser mounted, the receiver dryer here. Originally on this car, this would have been turned around and this would have been on this side, but because the compressor on our car is on this side, we swapped it, you know what I mean? The original compressor on the 289 would have been on that side, but we don't have that. So that being said, here is kind of like a rough mock-up of the lines. There's our original compressor down there. This is the big suction hose, which is the bigger hose. That's gonna go into the evaporator here, and we need this to be pointing up so that we can charge the system, right? The other hose, as you can see down there, that hose is this one. That one's gonna go crimped onto that, run all the way back into this one, which this goes, I know it's a cluster guys, follow along with me here. It's gonna go into the receiver dryer, which is that. I'm gonna go make a hole through here, and that'll go right in there, right? Following along? Okay, the next one is this one, and that one's gonna go down here. We're gonna have to make a hole down here, and it's gonna go right into this fitting. So once we get that, I know it looks like a cluster of hoses. We're gonna go down to Crown, and they're gonna make us the hoses for us, and hopefully get this AC system hooked up. So we'll be back. All right, here we are at Crown, where we're gonna get the hoses made. Gonna go over with him all the hoses, and hopefully get them done and get them in the car. All right, so here we are, Vista Driveline, picking up the drive shaft. Let's check it out. Another day, Coyoteville here, doing some more wiring for the vehicle. So let's show you what we're doing for the engine wiring, where we're running that through. So we decided to go through this area on the firewall. It's a big hole, but that's how, in order to fit all these plugs, we needed to make it that big. So we're gonna run it there. We're more than likely gonna run it around this area because these are our O2 sensor plugs. that are gonna have to be drilled. Probably a hole here that can go through the other side into the header ports here. And then from there, we're taking a look at all the wiring for the AC system as well, where we're gonna mount the heater control valve, which more than likely the Coyote. These are the heater hoses here, and this is the other heater hose here. So we're gonna try to mount it in this area there. So I'm gonna continue with it and see how far we can get. You might be wondering why I come in with all these hoses into this auto body shop. But these are hoses for AC hose. We got a wide mixture of different lines. We had to adapt the OEM AC lines to the Coyote swap, which is like the factory unit that I use for like a 66 motor. So we had to do a lot of cutting and splicing. They're not pretty, well they are pretty, but you know, we'll make them work. So we have the high pressure, low pressure line. We got the one going from the evaporator and condenser out into the car. So we're gonna get these hoses in line, get these hoses in the car, and we'll see how they look.
Say where the hose at? Where the hose?
Here's our lovely shaft for that puppy over there. So we got the drive shaft made. This is the side that connects to the transmission. This is that slip yoke that's gonna be going in and out. Yeah, easy guys, don't get too excited. This side is the one that goes to the back of the differential, which matches up to this. That's why I took this, so that we can make sure that it's, you know, that's gonna fit, and the hardware that goes along with it. So we'll be putting that onto the car, and we'll get our drive shaft in there. You guys ready for a little magic? I'm gonna pray to the Coyote gods. These hoses are magically gonna be installed. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right guys, we're getting one step closer. We finished up on the wiring aspect of the motor, kind of plumbed everything where it's supposed to go, tightened everything, called for performance. They guide us through, very good crew. And now is, we still need to finish up the wiring, like obviously clean everything up, but we're gonna try the initial startup. So really excited, let's go check it out. All right, as you guys see, I mean, we got all the fuse box set up here, got all the wires ran. Obviously they're just long right now. It looks like a pile of wires, but we just want to do this in order to, you know, see the initial startup. You know, got key on power, all the main wires that need to go. One little booger that was giving us trouble before is that this comes with like a clutch sensor, meaning like obviously when you push the clutch, it knows that, so that it's almost like a neutral safety switch that comes in, but obviously it's a lot shorter than, you know, where it's supposed to go. So we're gonna maybe use it as a push to start kind of button in order to get that going. But let's turn the key and see what she does. All right, we got everything going. Let's see what we got. Woo! It's alive. Two old guys putting in a drive shaft. Hey, what size was it, Sam? 75? A truck drive shaft you sent me?
It was 75 inch.
You were thinking 7.5
I was thinking at home in bed, but
7.5 inches long.
And a big black thing, his favorite. Here's another beautiful package that came in. Digital Dakota, look it up. Got all the stuff we need. Main bezel. We got the OBD2 interface with all the goodies here. All the wiring we need to do. You know, one thing that's going to be cool about this this system is that with the OBD2 interface, you're going to be able to display or send the signal to the gauge cluster using the factory gauges. So some of this stuff we're not going to use unless, you know, it doesn't transmit to the OBD2, but it's going to be cool because, you know, it'll plug in and basically it'll display everything for us. So we'll start opening this up and mounting it on the dash.
One eternity later.
Good morning guys, how you doing? Here we're back on the Coyote build. So excited, got some new stuff going on. We are hooking up the Digital Dakota and making sure everything's running, everything's connecting to the sensors, programming things, you know, making sure motor's running, temperature, fans are turning on, making sure everything's good before we butt up all the wiring. So let's go show you. All right, so everything's hooked up here. Obviously we've been running the car, making sure the fans are turning on, no leaks and everything. This is obviously just temperature temporary because we need the MAF sensor hooked up, you know, for when it's running. But everything seems to be doing good. The new digital Dakota packaging, guys, one of the newest ones that they offer, which is pretty cool. Obviously, comes with its nice new bezel. It comes with still analog looking gauges, but it's actually all digital. Comes with the, you know, the box. It's the HDX model. What's cool is that it's integrated to the Coyote. So like, you know, we were able to connect obviously some sensors to the OBD2 so that everything would work, but you know, some of the stuff you still had to wire up, which was like the oil pressure. The Coyote for performance doesn't hook that up into their ECU, so we had to run a sensor. Same with the tranny, we were having issues with the speedo sensor, and we were supposed to use the VSS output from the computer, but it didn't work, so we ended up running from the original plug here and wiring it up. So as you can see, it's really simple. Only has pretty much one wire. You would think before, you know, it has a bunch of other wires, but this one is just one wire to that. You know, there's a pile of wires here, obviously, as you see, but that's because we're testing everything, making sure everything's good. Then we can butt connect it, clean everything up, and let's check it out. Everything sweeps nice, and let's fire it up. Got our coolant temperature good, voltage, RPM, speedo, obviously it's not in gear, oil, and fuel. So everything's working good. Now we just have to clean up all the wiring, put it in, but look at that thing. That's it. And see, this is what we kind of had to do in order to get signal, because originally the motor had like a signal wire that sent it from there.
You don't want Red Bull out.
But this one is the one we had to wire, because the sensor wire, this is the Holophx switch, that's the speed sensor. Originally we were tapping this into the computer up there, but we were not getting the signal out the VSS. So we're like, you know what, it's a 3-wire system. Let's just wire these 3 wires up to the box up there and see what we got, and we got signal. So we're gonna finish clean this up, use this wire to get it on, and then run that inside. And now we got everything else. We got speedo, we got everything, no dripping, everything's running good, so everything's good to go. Shifter we got mounted up here. We have our drive shaft in, fuel tank, all that, so everything's good. So we'll continue wiring it up. All right, TJ, we were just talking right now, and what are we gonna do? Are you gonna do a blower on this? So I'm thinking about it. Oh, well, that's not fair. Well, I could do all motor if you like. Yeah, so you got turbo though.
Okay, yeah, but okay, back it up here. This Coyote made for
20
to the crank or wheel?
To the crank.
Okay, so the RB, I'm not gonna go over like 5. So
what do those stock make?
80. It's not even fair.
So you're doubling.
So you're doubling horsepower.
Half twin turbo, half stock RBs are shit. Just like any other stock 90s car.
Okay.
We're gonna put, I'm not really making that much power. We're gonna aim for
okay.
like low 5, really low 5. Very basic.
Okay.
But
Okay, then all motor are the same. It'll be all motor, the same.
If you go all motor, it won't really be fair. I'll definitely say. You gonna put nitrous or anything?
I don't know.
Too early, Don.
Yeah. No, but it's carbureted. Oh, but we can probably use all the lines and everything, right?
I have a NOS bottle.
You have your old supercharger? You have the supercharger? Give me that. Throw me that supercharger.
Dude, that would be really cool if you could retrofit that on there. That thing made power. That thing was actually like very fast. I was very surprised. Not fast.
After how much did it make? After
it made 700 cranks, so it made like
How hard was the install? Like,
eyes closed.
yeah.
Literally the easiest thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's the most fun, right? Like you can do
100%.
you do the chains, you do it. Like we were recommending like dads and sons, like whatever.
That was like a weekender,
Yeah, it's just a
weekender
weekend-
project,
it
you
is,
know?
it really is.
Weekender, it's really cool.
It's really cool, really easy.
That'd be too fast for this car, dude. That'd be scary. These things are sketch to drive. I don't even want more power than that in this.
But you want to hear it?
So what I'm doing more is, wait, it runs?
It runs?
Yeah. Oh, I thought.
No. Let's hear it.
Oh, I didn't think this was running.
Let's see it.
Wait.
Get it.
I want to film this. This is really cool.
It's alive. You think the RV got something on that?
You don't want
Hey, that's a lot of bald eagles right there, boy.
Oscar put his 1969 with 3 heads up.
I don't want mine's slow.
He doesn't want it.
Mine's slow. I don't want the smoke.
And the 6-speed on it, the factory 6-speed. A lot of
You got
people,
the factory trans
so a
too?
lot of people do automatic swap because of messing with all the tunnel and the firewall.
Yeah, well, I saw you just blew it open. Made
Blew it
on.
open to get it on there, but
Wow.
6-speed.
I miss the sound of a Coyote, dude. These things sound so cool.
This thing is hectic.
I don't know. I think maybe on a low boost. Low boost.
Low boost.
Do low
When is
boost.
this gonna be like ready?
I mean that I'm done with the wiring and the running aspect of it. From there, I just have to get everything all tied up on the wiring issue.
Yeah.
But it'll run. Once I get it run, I'll run it like that and pray.
No, that's not. No. We gotta go done. We both gotta be finished. Because I'm still like, our RV just got.
Okay.
We haven't even.
So what's your time frame? When do you?
Probably like 3-4 months. You'll plenty of time for you.
That'll give me time. Yeah, I'll get that ready.
We're gonna do a race. We're gonna spank them.
All right, let's see what happens. Hey, what's up, guys? Got this very special package. Shout out to Chris from AEM. Sent me a little special gift for the Coyote motor. As you can see, we got an intake, baby. AEM intake. We're gonna modify it and install on the Coyote swap. Let's go show you guys. So here's a package from AEM. As you can see, that's that big old filter, OEM filter that I have there. So this one obviously is for a regular Mustang Coyote motor, but we're gonna modify it to fit onto my Coyote swap. So here's the intake here, box, all the clamps, this nice license plate frame, and leave the filters in there. So my thought process is obviously with this box there, it's a no-go, it doesn't fit. So this will go pretty much like so. And what I'm gonna do here, cut it there and do a 90 so that it can go down into this vacant spot here and get some nice cold air. So the filter will be facing down, the same with my map sensor, and it'll be a nice finished little piece that'll complete the intake on the car and look really nice. Obviously with AEM, it's very quality part, good horsepower gain, it looks nice, and that's what we want. We want to squeeze out as much power on this motor as possible, and with the help of AEM, we'll be able to acquire that. So let's take it off, and I'm gonna have to get a 90 for this, and we can proceed with the install. Everything's gonna go in here, but obviously we can't put the filter here. So we're gonna have to do is I kind of marked it here with tape. We're gonna cut it on this line, and we're gonna put a 90-degree coupler that's gonna sit like so and face the filter downwards. Here we are at our handy dandy cutter. Got it all mocked up. Looks to be right on that tape line. So let's give it a cut. And voila, there it is. Let's go try it on. What's up, guys? So I got all the intake pieces all together. I'm gonna just tighten up the filter because down here we have a little bit of a space the way we can rotate the filter. So I might have to rotate a certain way to fit under here. But kind it all together, like we saw, I cut it in half, split it, did a 90-degree here angle, installed the mass airflow sensor, plugs, caps, pre-fitted. So let's see how she goes in here. Tight fit, but once it's in there, I think I'm going to retain one of the brackets that I can use. So here I got it all inside the throttle body. So installed. This hose is gonna go to the bottom. This one we're not gonna utilize, pretty much bypassing it. Same with this, we're not running any of the breathers that go to that. But you can kind of see fits up nice, clears everything. Filter is nice there. The only thing what I'm gonna maybe use this as a mounting bracket here, so it kind of holds it, but it should be good to go. Plug it in and let's do it. All right, tying up the last one, and there she is. Woo! Looks good. Bolts everything in, clears, filter down there, getting some nice cold air. Man, this piece looks so nice, man. Thank you AEM, man. This came out great. It's gonna get a lot of nice dense air, make me some extra horsepower that I'll need to take out TJ. See what she sounds like. All right guys, so we got everything installed, got the intake all buttoned up, that's done. Have to finish up some wiring for the inside of the car, but the motor's running, we got brakes. That's the main thing. We can start, put a seat in there, drive it, and I'm just super excited. It's cool to see TJ, you know, take interest in it and, you know, do a little gentleman's wager, see when his gets done and I gets done and do a little race or something. That'd be fun, all fun and games. Just want to thank you guys. Support the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, get all the links, get all that new stuff. Thank you AEM, and we're gonna continue on this build. We'll get the next video up as we're gonna be doing some more things to it. Hopefully finishing up the wiring, and then we can start working into the paint. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Like I said, here at SOS Customs, we got you covered.